Is the supply chain broken? Will the supply chain be broken for AI in the future, at least for some period of time, as a result of the Supermicro scam? Will the the BlackRock chip from NVIDIA, will it be available? And who's going to put it into a water-cooled server and then make it available to Google and Microsoft and Amazon and Meta? Who's going to fill that order? I mean, the orders are already in, but who's going to fill them if Supermicro isn't there? Is Dell going to be able to step up? Is Hewlett Packard going to be able to step up and fill the gap? I can't imagine that. If as I understand that it was roughly 1/3 of the server business was at Supermicro, I can't imagine that Dell and Hewlett Packard could just turn the switch and change their production lines and their suppliers and the people that they work with, and make that happen. I can't see that. So what does that do to AI? What does that do to Google, to Amazon, to Microsoft and Meta, who are counting on, for the growth of their companies, AI? And without the GPUs, AI won't happen. Without Supermicro, I don't see how it can happen. So I ask myself, what's the solution here? And I got to thinking, I've seen this movie before. I've seen this exact thing happen right here in Birmingham. There was a company, if you'll look it up, it's called Health South. It was the largest provider of some medical service, and it was growing substantially. In August of '89, and I was here, and I remember Richard Scrucci was the founder. Health South stock sold for $5.04. 9 years later, on May of '98, it was selling for $100. Does that sound anything like Supermicro? Okay. That's May of '98. On July of '03, it was selling for $2 a share. Why? If you read the story, it reads, all you got to do is change the names of Charles to Richard and the name of Supermicro to Health South, and they did the same thing. They booked orders that didn't really exist. They billed people that didn't expect bills, and they cooked their books, and they got caught, and the stock went down to $3 a share. So I looked at that and I said, okay, what happened? Because I know they changed their name to Encompass Healthcare, and there's a big building right down the street. And I thought, well, okay, so they recovered somehow. What happened? Well, what I know, one thing happened was Richard Scrucci went to jail. That was the CEO, because he cooked the books. He was behind the whole thing. He went to jail. He went to jail in Texas. He became a preacher. He's still in Texas. He's preaching. But before he left Birmingham, he built several large mansions, flew around in jet airplanes, and took care of all his cronies. Does it all sound like the same story, just different characters? I think so. So where is Encompass Health today? Today, it surpassed, just today, it surpassed the May '98 price of $100. Today, it's selling for $103. So that was '98 to '24. So 6 years. So, or 26 years. So is that what we can say? Okay, Supermicro is going to survive, but it'll be in 2050 when it gets back to its previous price. I don't know. But what that tells me is, number one, the supply chain, it may get broken for a very brief period of time, but I just don't believe that NVIDIA and Google and Amazon, Microsoft and Meta, and now Tesla as well, are going to sit back and say, okay, we'll just wait until this gets cleared up. We'll wait 25 years. Not really that long, but I believe it'll be taken care of, because again, this is just not a company. This is major companies. This is the tech industry is dependent on what happens with Supermicro. So you be the judge on that. You take away what you think. Do we have, now it's up, I think, something like 10% today, but what, it's so far down, that's really not a big deal. That might be if it's selling for 22, that means it's up $2.20 from where it was up and around 120. So that's not a big thing. But the point is, what I'm doing to do, I'm not buying any. Yesterday I did a video, or 2 days ago, and I said I think its support levels are all the way down around $7 a share or $9 a share. So I'm not buying any, and I'm not going to try to catch the falling knife. But I've got 200 shares, and so I've got I'm not sure what the price was in it, but I'm willing to bet that they aren't going to let this happen. That this company, that Charles will be slapped around a bit, might even spend some time in a detention center. Isn't going to go to prison, but this will be. It has to be, in my mind, it has to be resolved. Okay, I know what you're asking about this, best of us and best of US. I need to share with you. A couple of days ago, what was it? 2 days ago, a guy about my age was elected to be president of the United States. And he went on the mantra of make America great again. And he succeeded. So, best of us, best of US, look for me in 2026. No, 2028. Look for me on the ticket on 2028. Best of us, best of US. Right now, we're the best of us investors. Come to our channel, come to our website, learn about our school, our church, our tribe, our group of people who are trying to become better investors. And it's starting to happen. I can't believe what's happened to my portfolio in the last 2 days. Thank you, Donald. Thank you, Elon. I read an article in the Wall Street Journal this morning about the effects on Tesla and SpaceX and Starlink as a result of Elon being an advisor to cut the fluff and not the fluff. It's a bad word, to cut the crap out of our government system, the effects that's going to have on his companies, that he'll be there right next to the decision makers as to how many satellites he can put up in Starlink and how many rocket launches he can have relative to SpaceX, and then what the rebate will be for you to buy an electric car in the future. I'll tell you what, if I'm alive in 2028, best of us, best of US, vote for Kerry. Talk to you again tomorrow.